Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Last Give podcast, and I present to you guys this evening Flash and Ace.
What's up,
What's
y'all?
going
Thank you for coming out
peoples?
for our, I think, 5th episode now of the Last Give podcast. We are excited to have everyone here. We got some amazing topics to talk about, and we're ready to rock and roll with you guys. So, I am so excited for tonight's episode, and you all should be
Yeah,
too.
we're gonna be
Because we
standard
have
for
lots
combos.
of quarterback controversies, and we got so many questions that need to be answered.
Yeah, same standard for topics of conversation again. Keeping it straightforward. NFL, NHL, NBA, and college football starting this weekend, actually. So that's gonna be something excited to see. So we're gonna go break through all those games. Gonna break through the NFL and preseason. Some COVID issues going on. We got NHL. There's some good stuff going on there. We got NBA offseason still. It's gonna be an excited episode. Great to have y'all with us. Be a friend, tell a friend, let their friend tell their friend, and keep the brand growing. Flash, what'd you get with that?
Yep. What we got, some great stuff. We got some amazing quarterback battles starting out. We got some NBA schedule has been released, and college football is going to be kicking off this weekend, and we got some amazing stuff we want to talk about regarding college football. All right.
Also,
and the Run and Gun podcast returns. Yeah. The Run and Gun podcast starts next week. Or not next week, tomorrow, actually.
Podcast tomorrow. Me, Jay Peeps. Same time. Be there. Once again, we would like to thank everybody for coming out for tonight's episode of the Last Give podcast. And here we go. We have officially kicked off. First on tap, oh my God, we have a lot to talk about. All right.
Yeah, Monday Night Football recap.
Are you excited?
Preseason.
Are you excited about our quarterback battles that we got going on?
Yeah, I think we have two real quarterback competitions going on, but I think both of them just ended with recent news in the last 24 hours. And then you have one remaining up in Denver. So far, I think the New England one with Cam Newton and Mac Jones, that's going to come down. But the reports with the Patriots being kind of upset with Newton for missing his daily testing because he's unvaccinated. And they're mad with that, so he's out for 5 days of practice. So Mac Jones will be getting first-team reps most of this week. So I think that might actually put Mac Jones in a position where he might be actually able to take that first week starting position. New Orleans down in the Bayou, I think Jameis Winston just locked up that job straight out because he just balled out. He had 9.
Assumingly.
It's probably going to be Jameis. He won 9 of 10 against.
We know that, but last night Sean Payton still refused to name a starter.
He's keeping Green Bay guessing too. He won't name a starter until it comes closer to week 3 of the preseason.
Everybody knows who the starter is, but we know Sean Payton. We know he likes Taysom Hill a little too much for our liking, and it's evident that Jameis is a better quarterback. Notice I say quarterback. All right, he can actually sling the ball down the field. And he can actually complete his passes. Taysom Hill, on the other hand, is right. Taysom Hill is not a quarterback. He can't throw the ball like how Jameis does. If New Orleans runs has the same offense as they had last year, Jameis is a guy to go with.
Yeah, well, Taysom Hill, he also had he almost averaged a fumble a game, so that's, I think, something you have to keep an eye on, especially when he was starting. He had almost 2 turnovers per game, an interception and a fumble. So I think the conversations with Jameis with his turnover woes, I think Taysom Hill had that same conversation, which is why it's like Sean Payton's being so hesitant on who to announce as his starter, because he's trying to also keep the Packers guessing on who that is, so they have to game plan for both of them and not get a 2-week head start in game planning solely on Jameis Winston.
You really believe it's to have the Packers keep guessing? I think if the Packers were smart, they would already game plan for Jameis, because we know Jameis is starting, and unless Sean Payton does something to completely ruin his reputation with New Orleans, you better roll with Jameis. That's what I'm going to say right now. Get it out of
So
right now.
it's going to be Jameis starting just because yeah, but it's going to be Jameis just because of the amount of...
Because of that last preseason game. 9 for 10, 2 touchdowns? Yes.
What I was trying to say is that they have tight end injuries. Their starter and their third string tight end both went out with injuries in the last game. And now they're very depleted in that position. So Taysom Hill's going to go back to probably his Joker role, because they have no other options there at tight end for them. And their wide receiver core is already depleted with only guys. Yeah, but you weren't talking about that.
Well, I haven't got to there yet. Anyways.
Oh, yeah, you've been going.
Come on, man.
You got Trey Lance and Jimmy G.
Anyway.
Kyle Shanahan will... Trey Lance and Jimmy G. Kyle Shanahan says he isn't picking a quarterback right now. Trey Lance, I thought, was not exceptional, but he was pretty impressive to say the least. Jimmy Garoppolo is still being efficient in that San Francisco offense. Does make it hard for Trey Lance to see the field sooner than later. So I think that one, I still think Jimmy G is going to be the week 1 starter. Andy Dalton will start week 1, but Justin Fields is going to be a starter by probably week 3. And we already touched base on Cam Newton and Mac Jones. So, Flash, do you got any other thoughts you got for the quarterback? Unless you want to talk Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock. Doing pretty good in the preseason.
I think Justin Fields might actually be starting over Andy Dalton eventually. With the way how Andy Dalton's been playing. I mean, I know it's official, but like it's been evident that Justin Fields is clearly outplaying this guy. And like,
well, this is the same head coach that was playing hot potato with this quarterback, Foles and Mitch Trubisky. So I have no faith in the right decision to start Justin Fields.
We shall see. I mean, it might be like mid-season at this rate. Is what people are going to be expecting with like Mac Jones and Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton is. I'm not actually too sure what's going on in New England. If Mac Jones started week 1, Cam time in New England might be running out faster than we think. We must consider that. Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock, who you got?
And I just asked you that. I said I'll probably take Teddy Bridgewater because of his stability at the position. But if they're going upside, they'll take Drew Lock. Because both of them have been playing pretty well, but Teddy was more efficient. But Drew had better big plays.
I honestly, I think Teddy might actually start if they keep this up. I mean,
like
Drew Lock has been all right, but Teddy's been more stable. But I mean, it is very hard to take Lock out of his starting position too. So Teddy's got to impress a lot of people. So we shall see. That one's going to be time and time again, and we just gotta wait and see. On to the next.
All right,
Dak Prescott is out of the preseason, and also Dak Prescott is going to be having this injury lingering with him for all season. Ace, do you think he should play out all the season?
Play. It's not a question about that. It's a shoulder injury he suffered in training camp. That's going to probably keep him hampered a bit, but he in pregame throws in his warm-ups when he was down in was it not Arizona they played? Whoever they played last week. in the preseason, it's not pretty memorable. So it's whatever. It's because it's preseason, but whatever. But I did want to touch base with Ja'Marr Chase, man. Once you finish up.
Hey, man. I do think oh my god, I do think that Dak Prescott should actually eventually play this season. I mean,
he's gonna play. He better play week 1.
He is that man of the Cowboys. I mean, injured Dak Prescott is better than whatever quarterback they have right now in their stable.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. We saw that last season.
Captain Obvious. Well, we know that because, I mean, Andy Dalton. I mean, we already know how bad Andy Dalton was, and we're going to see it again with the Chicago Bears. Moving on, Titans head coach Mike Vrabel has tested positive. I said Vrabel. Has tested positive for COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, I said Mike Vrabel. Come on. Anyways, this COVID-19 is very serious, ladies and gentlemen. It must be taken very seriously because people are catching it left and right. And that's also
I think the Bucks kicker, he was fully vaccinated. He got it.
Yes, that is also correct. Also, that's also going to hamper on the Titans' play calling ability and everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're playing on a team and everything, please get vaccinated and please wear your mask, especially as this Delta variant gets up.
I mean, the vaccination ain't doing that much.
We're going to do a disservice to our teammates as I forgot who said it.
No.
Peeps, who said that you're not a winner if you don't want to get vaccinated for your team? Who said that?
Well, I mean, the guys are getting vaccinated and they're still getting it. Look at the Bucks kicker. He was fully vaccinated. He still got it.
Yes,
a guy, I think, in Arizona, offensive lineman,
but your
he had it
symptoms
and he was
are going to be way less worse, Ace.
This time, regardless. If anything, they need to bring back the daily testing and get vaccinated. That's the best way for them.
That is the best way.
Because right now, the vaccinated players are getting tested once every 2 weeks. And that's how some of these cases are slipping through the cracks.
Because people are assuming that if you get fully vaccinated, you're going to be 100% covered. No, you're still going to catch the virus.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to take your precautions still. Just because Uncle Joe Biden decides to tell you that you're safe from the coronavirus, which has been proven lots of times it is not. And no, I'm not trying to get into politics, ladies and gentlemen. You're not 100% safe from vaccination, all right? Moving on, Ja'Marr Chase keeps on dropping. He's going to be dropping his balls, and he's going to be dropping his relevancy in the NFL. I know he's just a rookie, but should we be concerned?
If it's been going on in practice and preseason, slightly, but then JP's was bringing up something Sunday and during our pre-meeting or whatever you want to call it. He did say Jerry Rice, he had a lot of drops his rookie season. Look how he ended up being the greatest wide receiver all the time. So, I mean, I don't know if it's just my fantasy curse right now with people getting injured or having a bad career because I drafted both.
It's definitely
him and Dak. I drafted both Prescott and Chase, so a skill already. So, whatever.
All right, last but not least, have you guys been seeing social media and like what's been going on in training camps and those preseason games with fans? People are loving to throw hands left and right, up and down. We have seen that one case with Antonio Brown and that Titans DB. We have seen the other case with this one lady
Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, the fan.
No. We're not even talking.
The one in the Rams. The whole year.
The Los Angeles Rams lady, she threw the coke and she caused a bunch of guys got hurt and beat up. And then of course the lady in Pittsburgh. And there's some other cases we did not get to talk about. It's such
all
a
right,
shame
with
that
the
NHL. Hey, one second. It's been such a shame that people are. It's been such a shame that people are fighting left and right over this. when we got after
Uh,
post lockdown.
oh
It's just
yeah,
such a shame.
came back to society and they forgot how to act. All right, with the NHL, we got the release of the NHL 22 cover, and Austin Matthews is on the cover yet again. If you remember, he was on the cover for NHL 20 2 years ago, so now he's been on it 2 out of the last 3 years, while some players in the NHL haven't got recognition like that before these days. I don't know if it's because they're trying to appease to the younger audience and not the real actual hockey fans. Because if you watch hockey, you know, no offense to Austin Matthews, he won the Rocket Ricard for the most goals this season, but he blew a 3-1 lead in the playoffs. He did not show up in the playoffs, period, when his team blew a 3-1 lead against the Montreal Canadiens, who were the 18th seed in the NHL. That, I don't see how that earns you be a cover athlete. While like in NFL, you got guys like Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady who've actually won in their careers. While you got Austin Matthews who's blown the leads twice. Actually, when I'm thinking about it, he's blown leads on both years he's made the cover. And you have like guys like Nathan McKinnon who he's blown leads, but actually he's won a playoff series. Never made a cover. You got a guy like Nikita Kucherov, Andre Vasilevsky, they made a cover. So I was like, come on, NHL, be some more balanced and actually have some winners on the cover.
I mean, let me tell you this. I think EA needs to get their stuff straight. If you have a guy that's been on the cover 2 out of 3 years and he's notorious for blowing leads, I think he should not be on the cover. It's just simple as that. I know, Captain Obvious, but I mean, come on. We're actually having a debate about this. It's really sad, you know. It's very sad. I mean, you don't see that with NBA players as much, and you definitely don't see it in the NFL, all right? You don't see Lamar Jackson getting the crap.
Well, he did get the last year cover after getting his butt beaten off by the Titans.
But guess what? Lamar Jackson still played well. That's the thing.
Yeah, he won the MVP, and he actually did win a playoff game this past season. So hopefully, maybe Austin Matthews has a Lamar Jackson type season, and he actually wins in the playoffs.
Anyways, on to the next. We are going to be talking about Islanders or Rangers. Who do you think is going to have more wins next season?
That's actually a tough question. On the surface, I'd say the Islanders, but then when I'm thinking harder about it, I might actually go with the Rangers, even though they're going to have a new coach and a new bench and front office or whatever you want to call it. Whole new management in the Rangers. I think they might actually have more wins this season, but the Islanders will go farther in the playoffs solely because of the lack of depth inside the New York Islanders team, because they lost a lot of their quality veterans this offseason. So I think that's going to have a big part, while the Rangers are going to be healthier, and former number 1 overall pick Alex Lafreniere is going to have a season under his belt. So him and Panarin's still going to be good. So I think Rangers have a bright future, and I think this year they make another step.
I just think it might be too soon for the Rangers, honestly. They may have.
They had actually more wins than the Canadiens. You know that, right? It was just the division they were in. They had more wins and points than the Canadiens.
That makes a lot of sense, because that division with that New York teams and all that is a very tough division. But I still think the Islanders. Yeah. I still think the Islanders might have more wins. I think only because
Islanders
I just
playoff team than regular season team. That's why I say
Islanders. Islanders are, without a doubt. I mean, you cannot count against Barry Trotz like that, all right? And Matthew Barzal and those boys. You cannot count against those guys. So I do think that the Islanders may. I just feel like they'll have more wins versus the Rangers. I just believe in Barry Trotz more. That's just the only reason why. Islanders are having a new stadium. They cannot lose to a crosstown rival like that. I mean,
but
I could definitely see them being over the Rangers. They'll get deeper in the playoffs than the Rangers for sure.
Oh yeah, but I did want to add a little tidbit on what you said.
Because I do Because I still only see the Islanders as the only main threat to Tampa Bay as of now.
Okay, about that, whatever. If the Islanders go out and they get Vladimir Tarasenko, if he's fully healthy, I think that answers that question flat out. But then you got like the guy like Jack Eichel, who's unhappy in his situation in Buffalo, and he's been commonly linked to New York Rangers, who probably actually they kind of need a number one center to make that team a real like powerhouse. And then you have the Islanders, who have to start the season on a 13-game road trip because they're waiting for their stadium to be completed. So you have to take that into account if they get off to a little rough start. They might not have as good of a regular season as the Rangers, but they'll still be ready to rock and roll in the playoffs.
I forgot about the road trip. I just completely forgot about it. So
that's all right. If you want to move on to one of the great Ranger players ever, in my opinion, the King, who was commonly known as during his time with the Rangers, Henrik Lundqvist. He announced his retirement this past week.
That is a very painful day. I mean, we have seen that man make some incredible saves from time and time again. That's probably like back in 2015, 2016, I thought he was the hardest goalie to get through for the Stanley Cup during those years. So Lundqvist is definitely the real deal, and well, happy retirement, Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, well, it was kind of a forced retirement in my opinion because he had the heart inflammation, which is why he didn't play with the Capitals last season. And the one thing I did want to say, it kind of broke my thing when he didn't exactly ever win a Stanley Cup in his career. So I thought he's a most winning. I don't want to say winningest goalie of the last like 2 decades, but he is, and he's never won a Stanley Cup,
Dolan,
which kind of hurts.
Doing, buddy? James Dolan,
yeah.
What you doing?
I don't think it's exactly James Dolan's make the Stanley Cup to 5 years in 2010.
I know. I was just making a James Dolan joke.
Yeah.
Because
my bad.
James Dolan is, James Dolan. Knicks fans will tell you about James Dolan.
And I mean, if you want to go to other goalie news, Yusei Saros from the Nashville Predators, he just got the bag in the light of Pekka Rinne's retirement. Another great goalie who's going off into the retirement. So with the Rangers
who the Predators signed?
Yusei Saros, the goalie. Dude had a great mustache. If you see him, great mustache.
Well,
Saros, yeah. He was good last season.
Him. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We'll
he wanted to almost like
a lot more.
Yeah. He went into God mode in that second half of the season last year, which is a big part of why Nashville went from the gutters of the Central Division all the way into the playoffs. And he did play pretty well, I thought. He won 2 games against the Carolina Hurricanes, who were the division winners at this past season. So I mean, what's the Predators as their core is getting older, but they still locked up a promising young goalie.
Oh yeah, well, I'm excited for this season. Who do you think is going to break out the most this season? We already mentioned the Islanders, but I'm hearing that you have some other teams that you want to look at, or any players for this.
Well, I mean,
season?
We already saw Kaprizov if he does stay in Minnesota instead of because he has a contract in place to go back to the KHL. If he stays, I think he's going to be an all-star for sure this year. You have guys who are ready to take another step. Alex DeBrincat, he hasn't been getting a lot of headlines. I know he had like 40 goals this past season. Watch out for him in Chicago. Everyone's talking about him. So, I mean, those two are my guys to look at. You have Ross Colton. He's going to get a bigger role with the Lightning.
Oh, yeah, Ross Colton. Ah, man, what's wrong with me tonight?
Yeah, already had the Stanley Cup game-winning goal. That's more than most players have in their career.
That is a massive deal for any players. Ross Colton is definitely up next. I feel like the Lightning has another up next player also coming up.
Well, yeah. If it in my book, I would say it's Alex Barré-Boulet. He's been lighting up the AHL. He's an undersized forward who could score a lot of goals and a lot of points. He's kind of like a Tyler Johnson almost. So if they have a top 6 opening this year, he will slide perfectly into that they're going to have it this year, so he might stay in the AHL another season until a guy like Killorn's contract are up, and then he'll slide into that top 6 role, and he's going to just dominate, I feel. It's just a matter of time.
And then you have heard me mention before the Chicago Blackhawks are going to make a leap this season for sure.
Yeah, I already said with DeBrincat.
Oh, yeah. No, like the team overall is going to make
Yeah, totally. I agree with that. I just don't know if they're going to be Stanley Cup contenders. They'll be playoff contenders, but I don't know about Stanley Cup contenders.
We're talking about Fleury, sir.
Well, Fleury, but he's like...
If you have a goalie that could shut games down and stuff, we got to wait and see for the season. I think the season will tell the tale about Marc-Andre Fleury. And we also have some sad news. So the first player in Rangers history to have a jersey retire, Rod Gilbert, has died. Rest in peace, Rod Gilbert. Such an incredible feat for such a legendary franchise. Wouldn't you agree, Ace?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, this actually, he was probably a great player. This is way before my time, so I never saw him play or whatever. But from the way I was hearing people talk about him, I assume he was a great guy and a great player. And actually, I think this is the first episode we've talked so much about the Rangers, it felt like.
Are we Rangers fans?
Nah.
Honestly, this is the first time that we're actually talking about like a guy from past times. Like, I know we tend to do that in the other podcasts and the Run and Gun podcast, which ladies and gentlemen, if you did not hear, we're coming back tomorrow. Me and Jay Peeps will be running a show, and we also have a guest. Is that correct, Jay Peeps? Jay Peeps, we have a guest, correct?
That is correct.
I think
special guest, very special
guest. Excited. You all will be very excited to see our guest tomorrow on our first episode of the Run and Gun podcast season 2. Anyways, NBA. The official NBA schedule has been released, and we are going to be talking about games for like the major days, such as opening night and Christmas Day. Starting off the first game back for NBA basketball in the regular season, we have the Brooklyn Nets taking on the defending champions, the Milwaukee Buccaneers. Ace, how do you feel about that? Do you think that's a great match?
You just got you just said the Milwaukee Buccaneers. Sorry. But yeah, it's gonna be
insulted him a little bit.
No. I said Milwaukee Bucks. All right. I don't know if the thing is going on like you be saying.
JP, can you say Buccaneers?
Yeah, he definitely said Milwaukee Buccaneers. He definitely said Milwaukee Buccaneers.
It's all good. It's all good, Flash. It's all good, Flash. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
You all know I mean the Bucks with the Greek Freak and Drew Holiday and those boys. All right,
I'll give you a break. This is the first year I think where two teams with the same name essentially won 2 championships: the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Tampa Bay Bucks, if you want to call them, and the Milwaukee Bucks. I'll give you a break on that. But yeah, let's go back on topic with the Nets and the Bucks. That's gonna be an interesting game. We have a Game 7 repeat, or second round series repeat of KD's foot's like a foot, like 3 inches behind. It's a net. The conference final, not Milwaukee, so that's gonna be a fun game. We got any other games?
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Lakers,
for that
Warriors.
Game. I think that would be a great first game back. Lakers, Warriors, the California rivalry. If you ask me, is probably the bigger rivalry than the Lakers and Clippers. If you want my honest opinion, no disrespect to the Los Angeles Clippers, but Lakers and Warriors, I see a lot more animosity between those fan bases over time. So let's see. Russell Westbrook with the Lakers along with Carmelo Anthony's, Malik Monk, and a whole bunch of other guys. That would be very exciting to watch. And the Warriors, I would be very excited to see Steph Curry back at it, Draymond Green, and hopefully Klay Thompson.
Clay's not coming back till Christmas.
Yeah, I just noticed.
I didn't want to say the Warriors and the Lakers are a main rivalry because in recent times they haven't been very good at the exact same time. Like the Warriors were good for a stretch, and then while the Lakers were bad, and it was vice versa back in the 2000s. So I wouldn't say they're a rivalry in the past, but this season I think it's going to be one.
It's going to explode. It's going to be very good.
Yeah.
You cannot undermine them, and I'm glad they are in opening night game. Mavericks and Hawks, Luka versus Trae Young. That is also another exciting matchup. Not exactly on opening night, but it'll be opening week, October 21st. I think that would also be a great matchup. Badman Trae versus Luka Doncic, the NBA future golden boy, if you want my honest opinion. What do you think, Ace?
I think that's gonna be an exciting game. I'm surprised no one's ever called him cold-blooded Luka, because he has been cold-blooded at times. But some of those circus shots this man's been hitting, yeah, I think he's cold-blooded. He should be cold-blooded.
Let me ask you that. Between Trae Young and Luka Doncic, who do you think
I take
is more
Luka.
cold-blooded? You think Luka is more cold than Trae Young?
Just because of the amount of crazy shots. The crazy shots that win games. That's why I give it to Luka.
Honestly, recently I might have to give it a bit more to Trae Young. That man silenced Madison Square Garden. All right, he silenced Madison Square Garden. He put. It doesn't matter. Like that fan base, like he was being a bad man with those fans over there. All right.
Luka was averaging 40 against the Clippers with Kawhi and Paul George.
Yeah, guess 7 games. Trae Young took out the number 1 seed in the East, VJ.
Yeah, because Ben Simmons wouldn't shoot. Yeah, Ben Simmons wouldn't shoot. He still
exposed him. And guess what? He also gave hell to the Milwaukee Bucks as well. So,
well, he didn't play much of that series. He got hurt because of the ref, which was sad.
Yes, that is very true. But I do think you are undermining Trae Young a tad bit. But anyways,
I'm not undermining him. I said just Luka's more cold-blooded.
I don't know. This is why we have games like these coming on, ladies and gentlemen. Up next on our list, we have the Lakers versus Suns on October 22nd. Russell Westbrook versus Chris Paul. That is a great point guard matchup and a great point guard rivalry. If you want to, between their fans. I know that Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul are great friends, along with LeBron James and Chris Paul. But when it comes to their fans, they hate each other to shit. Oh, wait, I shouldn't be saying that. Anyways, I am excited for that matchup as well. We'll get to see the veteran Lakers versus the young and upcoming
well, they're not upcoming anymore. They're no longer upcoming. They have arrived. The Phoenix Suns have arrived. So I don't think we can call them upcoming anymore, because they did make the NBA final.
They're still a young team though versus the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna call them upcoming, that means they can go even higher. So I'll take that. I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have not reached their peak. Come on. But I mean, it's a great matchup. Devin Booker. Let's see what he does. Do you think Chris Paul is going to take a step back?
Oh, no.
How about LeBron?
I can't tell you how if they're going to take a step back, because age affects everybody differently. Father Time, he could just sneak up on somebody like that. So you can't really say who's going to take a step back and who's not, because both of them take care of their bodies really well. So it's going to be hard.
All right.
But I mean, if you want to get to the Christmas Day games, those are going to be fun.
Yes, that's what I was about to do. Christmas Day schedule, number 1. If you ask me, I think the Hawks versus Knicks, obviously, because of what Trae Young has did to the New York Knicks fans. And I'm sorry, I have to laugh a little bit, because you've been seeing the videos about Knicks fans just absolutely trying to make fun of Trae Young and all that, especially that one with the Hennessy Spider-Man video that's all over the internet. And you see Trae Young just bad-mouthing Knicks fans right in front of their faces. I mean, I think that would be fun to watch for Christmas Day. I think that's a real Christmas present there. Lakers versus Nets. That is also an amazing Christmas Day present given from the NBA gods as well.
If everybody's healthy, it'll be a great game.
we get to see King Kong versus Godzilla game, essentially.
Well, I mean, that movie, Godzilla beat the crap out of King Kong. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a good analogy at this point in time. But,
maybe not.
You insulted him a little bit.
I'm just saying what the movie was, bro. I'm pretty sure Kong lost like all the fights he had with Godzilla. So I mean, I don't know if you want to do that, but it is going to be maybe a potential NBA Finals preview, and if everybody's healthy, it will be
it better be
that
the
type of fight.
NBA Finals preview, because if one of those teams did not make the finals, we would be having a serious conversation about that. Moving on, Warriors versus Suns. That is also another great matchup. We're expecting to see Klay Thompson be back by then. That should give the Suns some hell. And then oh, wait a second. And then the Mavericks versus...
Yeah.
No, that's Mavericks versus Jazz.
I think the Warriors Suns. Yeah, Mavericks versus Jazz is the...
Luka Doncic versus Donovan Mitchell. Both of them are cold-blooded players. That would also be an extremely underrated matchup for a second, but it's going to be a great matchup.
Flash. I noticed you never said the MVP. I noticed you didn't mention the MVP. He got snubbed from Christmas. And all those games we listed, I never heard.
Shame on the MVP.
I know.
That is just Adam Silver just showing love to the bigger markets as who he deems superstar worthy. Because guess what? Nikola Jokic is a superstar, and he's a league MVP. You should not disrespect a man like that. I said what I had to say.
Yep.
And you want to know what else is
bogus? I totally agree with whatever you said. Yeah, the Pelicans having 15 national TV games and the Magic having 0 as a Magic fan. I find that extremely offensive. Come on, at least make them like 7-7 or something. Or at least like 10-5 even. Just 5 national TV televised games. NBA, they have 4 NBA TV games. Those don't care.
Washington Wizards only have 2 nationally televised games, all right? And that's a team featuring Bradley Beal. Which, who
so,
I've enjoyed watching.
It's just the NBA
so
messing with small markets again.
Yes, indeed. Because I do think that... Oh, my God. I do think that the Magic should have at least 2 games. Zion Williamson, I mean, I guess he's going to generate views, but, I mean...
Hey, at least the Grizzlies have 7.
I think John Moran should have more games on national television than Zion Williamson. And that might be a hot take to some, but I think the Grizzlies are a way better team. Grizzlies are a way better team than the Pelicans.
And they made the playoffs.
Exactly. My point. And the Grizzlies are just going up. That's an actual up-and-coming team, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
keep your eye out for them.
We need to talk about Ray Allen. He's decided to pick up a coaching gig for prep to coach his son's basketball team. That's something.
Which prep school?
I think.
Go over prep and where?
Miami Go Over Prep.
All right.
And Anthony Edwards. I seen that man Anthony Edwards is putting in work. I think he might actually be a great superstar coming up in the league.
I think he's going to be better than LaMelo. He might
actually be the real deal.
I think he's going to be better than LaMelo.
I think he's going to be more athletic than LaMelo, but I don't know about better than LaMelo yet. Anyways, bouncing off of that, we are going to be launching into college football season, which is officially kicks off this weekend. Main games that we want to look at are, for us at Penalty Talk, is going to be UCLA versus Hawaii and Nebraska versus Illinois. And we also, JP, so I'm correct, Grambling State, is that correct? Versus who?
Not Grambling, that's next weekend, but you've got the Alcorn State Braves against the North Carolina Central Eagles. It's the MEAC SWAC Challenge this weekend. We'll talk more about it on the Run and Gun podcast tomorrow.
Yes, sir. And also, guess what? College teams in the South are, well, actually, college teams in a nutshell are requiring vaccination proof for you to show up games. And for definitely both Oregon and LSU. LSU, on the other hand, you just need to just make sure you have a negative test for the COVID-19 for you to get in. Let's give them a round of applause to those teams because they are taking necessary steps to ensure the safety of others.
Well, I have some news that broke today that if you want we could talk about later on. Just remind me to tell you about it.
It
has to do with college football.
Is it hot news or no?
I don't know. It's the I know they were talking about the ACC Big Ten Pac-12 alliance or whatever. It became official. So I don't know if you want to talk about that or whatever.
That's
JP, didn't you see that too today? Talk about it. It was
yeah, I saw.
This from ESPN. It was Adam Rittenberg. He said some Pac-12 commissioner was saying history of the alliance announced today between the Pac-12, ACC, and Big 12 is grounded in commitment to our student athletes. We believe that collaborating together, we are stronger in our commitment addressing the broad issues and opportunities facing college athletics. So, I mean, there's no immediate or direct impact on college football, but it's going to happen, I guess, in the future. Like, it'll be more official, if you want to say. Where it affects like the actual scheduling and divisions and whatnot. But so I mean, what's your thoughts on that, guys?
Especially with scheduling stuff, I think we might be seeing a lot more cross traveling.
Yeah,
like cross nation traveling, we'll be seeing a lot more of that. I think that might actually be very good. Have tougher schedules for those teams. Now we just need the American to hop in on that too. I don't know why the American has not hopped in on that if they want to be upgraded into their legitimacy, but they should definitely consider it. American Athletic Conference. I'm looking at you. Get it done.
You take anything
let's give a
kind of a joke to begin with.
What's up?
No, I said you take anything they seriously because they're kind of a joke to begin with. No one takes seriously any. Only since the. So I mean,
all right.
Sometimes they can do some questionable things.
To Nebraska Scott Frost because he has got caught for cheating. Such shame, Scott Frost. I thought you were a great coach at UCF, but now that you get caught cheating, that's shame on you. I thought you were supposed to try to keep your keeps in these bigger conferences and the Big 12 and those bigger conferences, but you let me down, Scott Frost. You definitely let me down.
Mm-hmm.
Migos.
Yeah, I mean.
Come on.
Yeah. No. It's fine. We can talk about Migos. Oh no, I was just saying. Scott Frost, I mean, you were good in UCF, but like, really, you're that desperate you had to go break some protocols for the NCAA? Come on now. But yeah, let's go we're on to Migos.
Migos. Up, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to be turning up the College Game Day show this weekend. Make sure you watch it on ESPN. That is some great stuff that's going to be happening. Trying to make it.
Yeah, and also season. We got the Great Week Corsos. He's going back with College Game Day, I think, too, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So
he is going to be
another great personality
on the set, ladies and gentlemen. So we will see them all together in one piece. My question is, when are we going to see Tim Tebow on SEC Network? How soon is that?
It won't be surprising if it's not sooner than later.
I mean, he is. I think he was kind of silly to leave the SEC Network to just pursue an opportunity in the NFL because he's really great at what he does for the scene of college football entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
He's
totally
really good at what he does. It had me when he did that. So, all right.
Yeah.
So UCLA versus Hawaii, VJ. Who you got?
I'm gonna just say Hawaii. I have no idea about either of them, but I'm gonna just say Hawaii just because.
Are you playing with me right now? I'm gonna actually have to go on UCLA on this one.
Yeah, well, I assume everybody's taking UCLA, so that's why I just said Hawaii.
I mean, it is college football. Crazy things happen, but I do think
Yeah, I mean,
that UCLA is a better team. But then guess what? The coach is Chip Kelly, so you never know.
yeah. Well, I mean, Todd Graham, he was what 5-4 last year, and so that's I guess mediocre or whatever. So, he does have a 46-32 record. I'm looking up for in his career, the head coach of Hawaii. So I mean, he has proven he's a winner. So I mean, you never know. You could just come out of nowhere and just beat UCLA. So
That is
week
very
one,
true.
crazy
And also,
things always happen.
actually, it was your prediction of Hawaii might not actually be that bad, to be honest. Oh, actually, according to ESPN win predictor, UCLA has a 90% chance of winning. But
It's Chip Kelly. You said yourself.
it's Chip
I
Kelly.
don't get no faith.
And guess what? Hawaii defeated Houston in the Hawaii Bowl, while Stanford defeated UCLA. So that's something to look out at. UCLA is 65-32 with 5 ties in every season opening games. So, and this is also UCLA's opening game in 2 years since the COVID pandemic. So This is something to look at. This is also the 39th year at the Rose Bowl that UCLA is going to be playing at again.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about some week one stuff, you want to talk about Georgia and their serious injury issues.
One more fun fact about UCLA, and we'll get on to Georgia. All right.
Okay.
So UCLA has failed to make a bowl game in the last 3 years. All right. Last time that has happened is in 1974. That's kind of tough. Chip Kelly, we got eyes on you, buddy. You're going to be on our watch list, Lee. All right. Now, on the Georgia Bulldogs. What's up with them? 4 starters out, injuries?
I mean, that's not very favorable, especially when they have a week one game against, Clemson. Even with the new quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei. I mean, that's still going to be a hard game for them, especially with key guys missing. There's only 4 guys hurt, but I mean, they're big. There are 4 critical guys.
That is a big, massive deal when we're talking about a team like Clemson. And everyone knows Clemson is going to push over. Personally, actually, we can make game predictions about that next week. I'm going to save for my prediction for next week. I'm not going to make anything. So I'm not going to say anything regarding that game. But I would, let me keep my mouth out of that until next week, because that gives us some content. Yeah.
All right.
Nebraska, Illinois, who you got? We get to see Scott Frost. Or Scott Frost is suspended. I would assume he's suspended.
I don't think he is, actually.
Yeah, guess what? Scott Frost is about to get a little this on national television. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Going to get a little whip. So, there's my prediction there. Illinois. Lovie Smith is done it.
Illinois.
I have a question for Ace there. Who is Ace picking for the MEAC SWAC Challenge this weekend?
Okay, it's going to sound bad, but I have no idea who's playing.
Okay.
You want my...
I got mixed up with that one and the Orange Blossom one. I mix those two up all the time, so you're going to have to be more.
Alcorn State, North Carolina Central.
Alcorn.
Okay. Flash, I don't want your pick right now. We'll find out yours tomorrow night.
That's a great answer, Peeps. Whoa! Am I saying this correctly?
What?
Illinois is the underdog. versus Nebraska.
Hmm.
And Illinois
Wow.
sucks.
Yeah, but we're just taking Illinois just
but
because
we're
of Scott
talking about
Froster
Nebraska
memes.
here, peeps. We're talking about Nebraska. Well, Illinois may suck, but Nebraska is also not that great either. Let's be honest. Okay, let's do this one. UConn versus Fresno State. That should not be much of a debate. I'm gonna put my money on Fresno State. Southern Utah versus San Jose State. I think San Jose might catch them. And that is going to do it for tonight's episode of the Last Skip podcast. Thank you for coming out, ladies and gentlemen. I think this was a great episode with a lot of fiery mouths versus Flash versus Ace. If you enjoyed seeing this,
It wasn't
podcast,
that fiery.
please-
We didn't see no challenge flags.
You don't need challenge flags for all the smoke to be blowing in the air, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's
I
just
do
for the
think-
meme at that point.
But if you guys like what you're seeing, please go tell your friends. Tell your friends about us over here at Penalty Talk. I think we have bigger things to achieve in our life, and this is with this show, ladies and gentlemen. So, what do you
Yeah,
think?
and I thought it was a good show. I mean, don't y'all SWAC viewers that we have don't entirely bash me on not knowing on who's playing in the SWAC MEAC SWAC challenge, because I just literally started college yesterday. I've been kind of busy.
So I'll tell you this. The answer is very obvious if you have a hint about what's going on in that challenge. All right, the answer is very obvious.
What's the
I can't say it because that's going to be revealed tomorrow on the Run and Gun podcast. Which
I guess I have to tune in and
it's going
Flash,
to be
I guess I have to tune in just like everybody
will be
else
on
does.
tomorrow at 8. Ace, you are welcome to show up on that show if you want to come on.
Nah, I'll let y'all
I
do
think-
that. I'll just tune in as a viewer, just like all of these people that watch us should view them. Just and give us. We're just dropping teases now. We're getting bigger. We're getting better, and we're growing.
You
And
should
be a friend.
definitely show
Tell a
up
friend.
definitely show up for the Run and Gun podcast. That is going to do it for tonight, everyone. Thank you for coming out.
Mhm.